How's it going, everybody? It's Talking Toast here, and today we're going to be talking a little bit about the recent patch that came out a little over 2 weeks ago. Now that I've had a little bit of time to kind of play with all of the changes and see what they're about and how it's going to affect my personal playstyle, I'd like to talk about it a little bit. So starting it off, we're going to talk about the shotguns. There's been two different changes to the shotguns. The pump shotgun has now been reduced from a 90-95 damage from your uncommon and rare varieties to 80/85 damage for your, again, uncommon/rare varieties. So basically what that means is just for your basic, body shots, you're going to be doing 80 damage for your uncommon and 85 for your rare. And with that being said, the headshot multiplier has also been reduced from a 2.5 down to a 2.0, meaning that there is no longer a such thing as a one pump headshot. The most damage that a pump shot can do now is going to be right around 190, 188, I believe is what it's going to be, which means that anyone above that health line is going to survive a accurately placed pump shot. It's going to change up my playstyle a little bit because every once in a while I do like to run just a single pump and rely a little bit on accuracy and shot placement to get me through my games. What it's going to mean for me is I'm going to be changing up from maybe a single pump playstyle to either a tactical shotgun playstyle or back to my double pump. I like double pump, it just takes up a little bit too much inventory space for me, so I may be running, a heavy shotgun, obviously, if I find one, but those rarities are a little lower than your standard shotguns. Or I'm going to try and run tac shotty solely. They didn't change the tac shotty too much. The only thing they have done, it did not receive a damage nerf, but it did receive a headshot multiplier nerf, which was the same as what the pump shotgun was, changing from a 2.5 times headshot multiplier down to a 2 times. It does affect the gameplay a little bit of the tac shotty, so you're not going to be just... If you're accurate with your headshots with your tac shotty, it's still going to take now a couple of more shots to get somebody down if they're at max HP. You are still able to pump out a lot of shots with tac shotty because it does have a really high shot time, or really fast shot time, in comparison to like your pump shot where you have that reset of your pump, unless you're running double pump and you're able to spam some pump shotguns down range. From that though, the heavy shotgun has remained unchanged, so it is still sitting at a 2.5 headshot multiplier and is doing 77 damage for the gold variety and 75 damage, I believe, for the purple variety. I'll have some more specifications on that down in the description. With me, it's not going to change my playstyle too terribly much. A lot of the time I did run either a pump shotgun / tactical shotgun combo, or I would run just a specific tactical shotgun. Here recently though, I have been trying out the double and trying to rhythm this down with the double pump, which is what you're going to be seeing with this gameplay in the background. I wish that they would have nerfed the damage on the pump shotgun, but not necessarily change the headshot multiplier, because now I feel like my accurately placed shots are not doing the damage that I feel like they should do. With that being said though, the heavy shotgun still going now. The heavy shotgun is the most powerful shotgun in the game. Damage wise, capacity, it's one under what the tactical shotgun is, so instead of 8 rounds you're looking at 7 rounds. And you're able to run 2 of them, and you can double heavy shotgun almost twice as fast as what you can double pump shotgun because of the reset timer and the pullout timer. Now, since we covered shotguns, we're going to run back through some other changes that they brought to the game. One of these big changes is going to be the trap damage buff. Now, a few weeks ago, they changed the damage on traps from, I believe it was 125 down to 75, and this has kind of aggravated a lot of people that use traps in their build fights. You were doing, instead of 125 damage, you're doing 75 damage, and that's a big damage drop-off. So what Epic has done in response to that has brought the trap damage back from 75 up to 150, and I think a lot of people are happy about that. Me personally, it doesn't affect me too much. I don't use traps very much. The only times I really use them is if I run inside of a house and I don't want somebody running in behind me, I'll throw a trap on the ceiling in front of the front door, back door, just to kind of protect myself a little bit further. Aside from that, I don't really use them too much in my build fights. I'm more of a weapons expert than a trap expert. But, you know, it's going to change the gameplay. It's going to have to make me look out for traps a whole lot more. Epic was kind of evaluating what the impact of the traps are going to have on the game is going to be. Since doing so, they have buffed it back up to 150, so we'll see what their changes, what their thoughts are on that in future patches. Next, the jetpack. This item that everyone just loves so much has finally been removed from the game. It was removed on June the 11th at 8 a.m. I had a timer set. This item was probably one of my least favorite items that has ever been added to the game. I hated the jetpack with a burning passion. It gives bad players the opportunity to counter a good player because they can hold down spacebar for long enough to out height you or to gain an elevation advantage on you. Jetpacks can move up quicker than what a normal person, what a normal builder can build a 1x1 in. So I mean, they're able to hold spacebar down until their timer runs out. As soon as they get above you, they can floor you, and they've got height advantage now, and you're at a disadvantage. All because they had a jetpack. I don't like the aspect that it brought to the game. I don't like the playstyle that it brought to the game because, like I was saying, it makes the bad players able to counter the good players, and it makes the good players just about unstoppable. So I'm happy to see that they have finally removed the jetpacks from the game. They have been vaulted, so there's no word whether they're going to be bringing them back into the game at a later time. We will see, though. Hopefully they just decide that it was a bad addition to the game, and they'll just kind of keep them out in general. Some new items that have been added to the game, or a new item that has been added to the game, is going to be the bouncer trap. These things are going to create a whole new play style. So it's essentially like the old directional jump pads, except you don't have a specific direction that you can jump in. Now it acts more as like how the hop rocks act, whereas when you bounce on it, it gives you a little bit of sort of an anti-gravity effect and lets you bounce either 2 or 3 stories, 4 stories high, and they're going to make some really cool plays come to the game because you can place them not only on your floors and walls, but you can place them on ramps to kind of get an angled bounce. So I think this is really going to bring a pretty cool playstyle to the game and a new playstyle to the game. I like when they bring these types of items in the game that that change the meta and change how people play the game. Create some really cool plays and some really cool footage of people pulling off some just fantastic stuff. Now, moving on from that, we have got a little bit of a build nerf. They have reduced the likelihood of finding mats on the ground by 33%, and they've also reduced the stack of the mats by 33%, so they've reduced it from a 30 stack of wood, metal, or brick down to a 20 stack. Also, when doing that, they have reduced the llama output for materials. They have reduced the llama output materials from 500 per material down to 200 per material. I don't think this is a bad thing for the game. I do think it could use a little bit of adjusting. Also, the llamas no longer drop explosive ammo, which I really like, because if somebody were to find a llama, they are just sitting there spamming you with either a grenade launcher or with an RPG until you have no more mats, and it was extremely difficult to counter. More so the RPG than the grenade launcher. The grenade launcher, you're able to rush and kind of counteract that because they do have a timer for the explosives. But with them reducing the llama output from 500 materials down to 200 materials, it is going to make someone who finds a llama a lot less dominant in the early game if they do find it early. It's going to make it a little more evenly matched. Someone is able to farm 600 materials total a lot quicker than they're able to farm 1,500 materials total. So I sort of like this change. It does make a good player have to farm more, but it kind of gives you a more definitive line between a good player and a great player, or a bad player and a good player. So I think it's going to help out a lot. Lastly on the list, I have got the gun buff to the minigun. So with the minigun, they have increased the accuracy by 10%. So you've got a less of a bloom on the minigun when you're shooting it. Also, they have increased the ammo spawn with the minigun from 60 rounds at find up to 90 rounds at find, so you get a little bit more ammo to kind of shoot that gun with. Aside from that, they have not increased the player damage on this gun, but they have increased the structure damage. So they've increased the structure damage from 25 per round to 30 damage per round for both varieties, the purple as well as the gold. Minigun is a great find. It really counters good builder, so it gives those newer players, those lower level players, a chance. The ones that have not necessarily mastered building, it gives them a chance to counteract a good builder without having too much of an advantage. It gives them a fair chance, I would say, at kind of killing a good player or dropping a good player down from their height advantage with that minigun. So I think this is going to be a good addition to the game. It is still probably going to get some tweaks and some different changes to it, but we'll see what they have to come in some future patches. But that's going to be it for this video, guys. If y'all enjoyed it, leave me a like, comment down below for some future video suggestions. And if you guys enjoyed this content, feel free to subscribe to my channel for some future videos. And again, guys, thank y'all very much for watching and hope you guys enjoy. Peace.